Today we are looking at this Beko robot vacuum cleaner, but not only is it a vacuum cleaner, this is also a mop, and it will vacuum and mop at the same time. This is the VRR60314VW. This uses Home Direct, so if you download the app you can control this from wherever you are. It has up to 150-minute runtime. It has a smart drop sensor, which means it's not going to tumble down your stairs. It will stop, turn around and carry on vacuuming. It has strong suction power, 2000 PA, and the water tank capacity is 0.12 litres. So now it's time to get this unboxed and have a play. So here we go, let's unbox it, and this is going to be the first time I actually see this product live. So we'll unbox. First thing we come to, the statement of conformity. So I'm assuming in here, along with that, will be the instruction manual. It's all from the Architect group, that's who actually own Beko. So you've got your robot vacuum cleaner user manual, and then the user's manual for the mobile app. We'll probably have to refer to this a little bit later on. The grand unveiling. Take this off. So we can see there, we've got your main rollers just here. This bit is to get into the corners. So it'll brush, sweep all the mess, dust and dirt up from the hard to reach places. You've got your two movable wheels up there, so they'll go up and down over the carpet or hard floor, whatever you've got. If we eject it there, this is going to be where all the dust gets stored and maybe the water tank all in one. We'll have to read up on that in a minute. This looks like the mopping attachment. A couple of microfiber cloths. How do they attach? So they're just Velcro and sit over the corners. So you get them on like that. Click them in. Make sure all them bits are over. Pull it nice and snug. And then Velcro them in. You have a spare corner brush. This looks like the docking unit. And as I said earlier, this should be automatic charging. So I guess when the battery power gets so low, the robot will just come back and charge back up. Power supply. Little brush here and a hook. I'm assuming this is for cleaning purposes. This must be a filter. And that is everything in the box. We'll take the plastic off the sensor and the plastic off these parts. This bit here, remove before use. Then it looks like you can pull this bit off, but for now I'm going to leave that on because it shows us nicely what it can actually do. 2000 PA strong suction power. The advanced gyro navigation technology, the Wi-Fi Connect smart app, it's the Home Direct SDA, so small domestic appliances. 3 modes of water dosing on the mop system, additional accessories, up to 150 minutes of runtime, and the auto charge. So I'll get this plugged in to see if it's actually charged up. So to do that, what I'm going to have to do is remove this part here. It says open, just pull it open, and you can see you've got a socket in there. That is going to be where the power supply goes. So we can push that in there, and then the cable can go nicely out of this end or the other end. Doesn't matter which way it comes out. And then we can click that back in. I'll set that on the table. I'll just get it plugged in. You can see the 2 silver parts that will need to line up with these 2 silver parts here. So we'll just place it on top. But I'm not sure if you could see, but the light is actually off now. When I remove it from there, the light comes on. So I assume that is just telling us that it's on charge or it's docked. Right, I'm now going to turn it on, and we're actually on a table, so this should prove if the sensor actually works and it doesn't topple over. So we'll just press the on button. The brushes here are going round. I can show you that in a minute. And there we go. It's moving. It hasn't come off the table yet. It seems to know the edge is here. Let me just undock the phone for a minute. So you can see it going round. It's getting to the edge, but it is not falling off. So the sensors definitely work. Okay, so that just docked itself. And there are different modes that you can select for use. So let me run through them right now. So it says in the instruction manuals to hold down the standby button for 3 seconds to turn it on and for 3 seconds to turn it off. And then if you tap it once, it will start the cleaning mode. So the robot will leave its docking station and clean in a Z pattern, and then clean the area along the wall. It will continuously clean the room like that, repeating the process till the room is clean, and then it will automatically dock itself. Pressing any button, so your standby or the home button, will pause the robot. When you press the home button after it's been paused, it will put itself back on charge. And I just pressed it, and now it's back on charge. There is a spot cleaning mode, so this is where you pick it up and you put it down. It will clean a 1.5 meter area by tapping the power button twice, but it does say in the instruction manual that it's only supported with the relevant mobile application, so we'll test that a little bit later on. And there is also a vacuum power selector. Again, it says on the mobile app, and you can select quiet, standard, powerful, and maximum. And there's also a remote control cleaning where it looks like from the manual that you can move it where you want on the mobile app. Again, I will test this a little bit later on. I think the next thing to do actually is download the app. So I've got my phone, I'm going to download that right now. So the app is now downloaded, nice and simple to do. Just went into the Play Store, search for the Home Direct SDA, downloaded it, click on Add Device. There's a picture of a robot, click the robot, press the 2 buttons on the top, so the standby and the home button. You hold that down for 5 seconds, that starts with the pairing mode, and then it took about 30 seconds, and it was all paired. So now when I look onto this, I can see that the battery power is 100%. You can see that right in the middle. Other things, we've got a cleaning switch, we've got a standby, smart, and a wall follow. Got suction, and it says water, control, low, middle, and high. So let's test the app out. What I'm going to do is press that button just there. It says cleaning switch. I assume that will turn it on. Let's spin the camera a little bit so you can see that when I press the button, it will come on. You can hear it making a noise. The brushes around here are spinning, and I assume it will undock itself. There we go. And again, it shouldn't fall off the table because of the drop sensor. Now let's just see what else we can do. So if I press the pause button, it says standby, that will just stop the machine. So press the standby button, cleaning switch, and the cleaning switch will make it go again. I've now just clicked smart, and I don't know if you can see, but in that center of the screen, it's actually showing you where the robot is going. So you can see if it's covered the floor area. Now I'm just going to click the suction icon on here, and what that does, that brings up this screen. So you've got quiet, standard, power, and max. Right, I've now just clicked wall follow, but I don't know if it'll actually be able to do it because we've got no walls, because it's on the table. But let's just see if it does the outer area of the table. And it's looking like that's exactly what it's doing. So that was the wall follow, which is really clever. We now know what is on the app, and I really like the app features. I think you'd use this quite a bit. I especially like the wall follow. Now we've already seen it working on a table. Let's see how good it actually picks things up from a carpet. So let's get it on the floor now. I don't have a lot of room in the studio just here, so I might go and put it in another room and see how well it picks up the dust and dirt in our carpets. Right, so it's downstairs on the shop floor. Let's turn it on with the app and see what it picks up. Now the floor's not that dirty, so in a minute I'll actually get some porridge or something. We'll put it down and see how well it picks it up. So we can see that that's the area in green that the robot vacuumed, it did miss just a couple of tiny little dots, but it picked up all the dust and dirt what was on the floor. I'm now going to make it a bit more challenging, put in some cereal, porridge, something like that, down on the floor and see if it picks it all up. Just so you know, this took just over 12 minutes to vacuum the floor. Of course I speeded it up because that's a little bit boring watching it for 12 minutes long, so I'll short it down to about 10 seconds. The robot has done its cleaning, it has missed a little section just here. This is a 9 metres squared area. How do I know that? Because on the app, it actually tells us. So you've got 9 metres squared cleaning area just there. Now, because it's missed a little section, I am going to try the spot cleaning. So we'll do that now. So the spot clean, if I can remember, we just have to tap this button twice. So let's give it a go. And it's a quick tap, not a tap and a tap, but a tap tap. So there we go, with the spot clean, everything there is now been picked up, and there is all the porridge oats. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually use the mop. Before we do that, we'll empty all these oats. So let's throw them in there, and we'll shut that. We'll give the filter a bit of a clean. So if you open this section here, you can actually get to the filter, and you can see it has got quite dirty. Now you could do this outside, but when you just flick them like this, all the dirt will come out. I've got a big bin down here, so it's going into that. This can actually be washed as well. We've got a spare one that came in the box. Make sure they're completely dry before you put them back in. So if you are going to wash it, wait 24 hours before you put them back in. So here is the water tank, and we're going to fill this up. So underneath this little tab just here, pull it out, that is where the water goes. I can't see a maximum line on it, so I'll just fill it up to the top. Like that. We can now reinsert dustbin part. What we now need to do is get the actual cleaning cloth, which is this, and it actually recommends in the instruction book to disconnect this, so just pull it off and dampen it. So we'll do just that. Run under the water quickly and then reattach it like so. So that is now all ready. You can see it's got a little ball on there. That must just help glide it along the floor. And if you see these two lugs here, that fits inside of these two holes. So we just insert it there and push down and connect it back into the robot like that. So to set this up, we can go into the water, and you've got that low, middle and high. That's how much water is going to be allowed to go out to be mopped up. The floor's not been mopped for a while, so I'm going to do high. I clicked onto high, it beeped straight away, and now we'll start. Again, I didn't think you'd want to watch this for over 10 minutes, so I have fast forwarded it quite a bit, but it does do a really good job of cleaning this floor, as you'll see in a second. And that is the floor all cleaned and mopped, and to the touch, it is damp, but it's not soaking wet, which is what you want, so you can walk on it pretty much straight away. And now let's see how much dirt it actually collected. Just in there, it's only a small area, but it collected all the dirt, and that is how dirty it was. So that cloth is pretty disgusting. So we've vacuumed and we've mopped, now we better clean it. So let's turn it around and work out how to disconnect all of this. So firstly, I'll just show you this. So that will get washed later on with some soapy water, so it's nice and clean again. We'll eject the dustbin, get rid of all the water from in here, just in case next time I use it, I'm only using it as a vacuum and I don't want the water in there. So we'll leave that on the draining board to dry. So if we turn the robot over, you should see there's two clips just here. So I think if we just pull them, that releases this housing. Then we just pull up, and that is your brushes. So using the brush they provide, we can just brush out any dust and dirt that's left in there. If there was hairs all tangled, you can see a couple of hairs in there. You can actually use the other side, which has a little like Stanley blade in there. So then you could hook the hairs out. But at the minute, there's not many hairs wrapped in there at all. Maybe a couple at the end. And then just clean both sides. And we can put that back in. This is all pretty clean, but again, we could just brush that all down and then reinsert it. Right, and you can also take this part off as well. So this is the corner brush part. So just grab hold of it and pull up, and you can give that a clean. You could even, again, wash that under the tap if it needed it, but leave it 24 hours before you use it again, and then just click him back on, and you're good to go. Other things we could clean are the sensors. So you've got the charging bit. We could clean all that up, and also the drop sensors, so it doesn't fall off your stairs, anything like that. Make sure they're nice and clean by either using the brush or just a cloth. You can also take out and clean this front wheel. Now, it's not the easiest, but if you grab hold of it by the wheel, hold down and then pull up, you might drop it like that, but it will come off. So you can see it's just like a standard caster, so it goes in and clips in tight. You might get hairs and stuff under here, so you can clean that all out and then put it back in. And now if I just assemble it all back together, and we're all ready to use again. So that is all my testing done, and you can see I've used quite a bit of the battery power. It's down to 42%. That's how much battery power it's got left. So I'm just going to put him back to home. So I'll press the home button, he'll dock himself and start to charge. So I've spoken about all the features that this robot vacuum cleaner / mop has, but we haven't actually spoke about the price. It is very reasonably priced. So the standard price on this is $249.99. That's what I was selling it for last week. Starting from this week, so it's halfway through May 2025, and is now on offer for £229. For this type of price, this is an amazing robot vacuum cleaner. It's really affordable, it's got the great smart app features, and it's also a mop. When I first started looking into these and I saw the price, I didn't expect it to be that good, and this really is. If you want to grab yourself a bargain, I have put a link to purchase one of these in the description of this video. Now, I do hope that you've liked this video, but have I missed anything? Do you have any questions? Please let me know in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you have found this video beneficial, please do give me a like and consider subscribing. And if you want to continue watching one of my videos, why don't you click the link just up there.